Good morning, everybody. Ohayo gozaimasu. It has been a long time. Hisashiburi desu ne. I am going to be doing an updated garden tour and just talking with you for a bit. So, why don't you join me? It is May 6th, 2024 on Monday morning here in Jamaica, just about 7:48 a.m. and I'm just going to be walking through my garden, showing you what's been happening or not happening, and just talking with you about any updates or whatever comes to mind since I have no script. But it's been a while. It's been a while, but I'm still here. Stacy personally speaking, Stacy personally gardening, and I just want to thank you all so much for being on this journey with me. Let's go. All right, so we're starting right here where we probably should know by now. You can see these have filled out really nicely, creating that border. As a matter of fact, right now these need to be thinned out, but yeah, let's take it one step at a time. So here is what remains of what used to be the callaloo bed. But right now I have a small ackee tree growing there. That's ackee tree number 3. Ha! A bit of a tongue twister there. I still have a bit of scallion, green onions right here. I'd say these are more scallion. They're so tiny right now, and we just started to get some rain, so hence you're finally seeing some green. My yard was brown, my neighbor's yard was brown, everybody's yard was really brown, but we finally started to get some rain. All right, now not really sure how to do this. I kind of lost my sense of direction here, but let me scoot back over here to show you the things that have been surviving the kind of drought that we've been having for the past couple months. Drought, and of course not being taken care of as well as they are used to, since I had been so indisposed. Right here we have some beetroot still happening, still going on. I can see that this one here is not going to really produce anything. See, so there's really no point in even leaving it. I did recently get one from there. This is probably not going to be doing anything either. I'll probably add them to my smoothie this morning. Yeah, once you see them above the earth like that, it's not happening. So I'm gonna use the leaves in my smoothie. There's a big one, so you can see that that one is actually going to be developing. The arugula has been faithful, always bearing. As a matter of fact, I have so much arugula all over the garden that I've had to start stir frying them instead of just using them in my smoothies because they are so much. But they do really well with the dry spell that we have been having. Let me step to this first box, which used to have the lettuce. I just pull them out. Everything has been kind of recently done since I just had some time freed up. Pull out all the lettuce, left them there to decompose. Still have pak choy. It's going there. I have not been paying anything any mind really, so pests have been having their way, but it still managed to continue to put out some leaves, but it's really been severely damaged by pests. Here I do not know what citrus this is going to be, but it is here as a result of me transferring dirt from the compost to this box when I was creating it. There we have more arugula. Everything in here, those are all arugula, and they actually came from the packet that had the lettuce as well. It was a green salad mix. and so those seem to just really thrive very well. The basil, interestingly, also I believe came from the salad mix, or did I plant it? I don't remember, but I was just surprised to see a basil plant, two of them actually growing side by side right there. So it's very hot, people. I have started to sweat. But let's continue. That box right there is just filled with hot peppers, and the leaves before the rain were so tiny, similar to the next planter boxes, which I'll show you when I get over there. But now that they've gotten some rains, they've just started to fill out. It's been about 3 days since the last set of rains. I just watered this morning with some 2020 fertilizer. I've had a few peppers from this, but not much. But there's a lot of blossoms. There are a lot of blossoms. I've given away, I think, 2 or 3 pepper plants from this spot. Like, I've literally just dug out the entire plant when they were a little bit smaller though. But I still have some small ones, which they're small but they're kind of older. And again, here we have arugula doing very well under here, and along with everything that's enjoying the rains, the weeds are also enjoying the rains, and so they are coming out in full flurry. Under here we have beetroot. I had tried to do what they call I don't remember, multi-crop planting, something like that. But by then I had already had all these peppers in there, and I was trying to plant things in between, you know. So I think I had planted some escallion in between as well, but the peppers are largely living in this box. All right, over here you see my almond tree is doing really well. This was from seed, and it is clearly one of the faster growing trees here in Jamaica that I have discovered, along with the ackee tree. I think they are the ones that are growing the fastest consistently with the type of climate that we have and the weather that has been happening. All right, so this is where I used to have a row of sorrel going all the way down, and I still have that one sorrel plant from the very beginning. If you look across to my neighbor, which I'll probably show you a little bit closer, I had given her some sorrel plants as well, but of course they were planted late. So I've also been learning about the different seasons that plants tend to thrive best in, when to plant, you know. But let me back up and show you what I replaced the sorrel with. I replaced them with a row of okra. Okra is another plant that does really well in our climate. I also had beans in between each of them, and all of those beans except this one died. The beans could not manage the heat. That's what I realized. They could not manage the heat at all. And so they just died. But the okra, here it is. Here they are, just flourishing. So the okra can handle the heat. Any sorrel that you see growing, I did not plant. So this is growing as a result of a seed or seeds being dropped. So I really don't pay them much mind. As you can see, this one is like really tiny. Look here, so tiny. I'm not really giving any attention to them. Sometimes I don't even water them because it's just been so hot. They have not been doing well. Look at this really tiny one here, right? So, and then I didn't have the time either, so we'll see. But ideally, sorrel, most plants seem to prefer a cooler mix of weather, not so much this ongoing heat that we seem to have here in Jamaica. And of course, you know, it's getting hotter. It has been hotter. Yeah, ignore the weeds. Right, so let's move on. Some things, I have lost a lot of things. Some things have died. Here's another sorrel plant here, which I just don't even water them anymore, as I said. But maybe I should pick off the sorrel at least. Yeah, but as I said, I didn't have any time really. All my pumpkin died. All the vines that had completely taken over this area, completely taken over the compost heap. The vines have all dried up. This is what remains. Any pumpkin that had started just stopped growing. And all right, now look at this. I'm going to just harvest these after doing this video. But you know, the rains and everything, the caterpillars are definitely going to be coming out. So I'm going to be, whoa, let me get this. Oh, well, it's been harvested. Ha! So this is really, really small. You know, and I cooked soup yesterday, and I probably could have. And I have another one. So just these two had actually made it to fruit and had started growing, but then just the heat and everything that was going on in my life started happening. All right, so this is my compost heap, and it has 2 papaya trees growing, which I allowed to grow. From here, I actually took out about 5 different ackee plants. Yes, I've just been throwing seeds kind of deliberately. I just want to see what's going to be happening, what I can actually get from the compost without, you know, going through the rigors of planting deliberately. All right, now here I have a funny joke about this, which for months I thought was an not echinacea, lavender. When it was really, really small, like only had 2 leaves, it was at the front of my house. It was at the front window of my house, and I thought it was going to be lavender, and I have 2 of them. The other one is still around the front of the house because I don't know where I'm going to put it. And my neighbor just said, no, that's not lavender. That's some kind of citrus. And he said it might be grapefruit. And I'm like, I've probably had grapefruit like once since I've been back home. So I'm not sure what it is, but whatever it is, it's citrus. Nothing about lavender. Because when I saw it, I'm like, lavender has thorns, you know? And I'm like, but I didn't even think of smelling the leaves, which, you know, but it is so obviously a citrus plant. Anyway, I put that one there because this that I got seems to have died. I got this as a plant. It looks like there might still be life in it, but I'm not sure. Down here is still kind of green. Up here is pretty brown. I had the pumpkin shading it when there was pumpkin here. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen. That's why I put that one there. So they can work it out between themselves. All right. Now in here, there are all sorts of seeds, as I said before. Right now, the leaf of life is growing because I had thrown excess leaves here. And, you know, leaf of life just need the leaf to grow. Lots of sorrel is starting to pop up because as the time gets a little bit cooler, the sorrel really likes a cooler climate, a cooler environment. So sorrel, and I am not short of sorrel seeds, but at one point I just started to throw away the sorrel seeds. Here is another citrus plant coming up with a leaf of life behind it. Yeah, I don't know. This compost heap needs to be turned. I've not had the time, and besides that, when the pumpkin vine was growing, it covered everything. I could not access it anyway. Right, so all of this from here to there used to be my compost heap, but now I have this papaya growing in it. All right, this video is going to be pretty long, I can tell you that from now. Here's a new addition to the family, and it's a coconut tree, which I got probably 3 weeks ago now. I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to tying up my hammock on it once it gets big enough. Here is Aki tree number 2. Aki tree number 2. Like I said, I have 3 Aki trees. So this is the second one. I recently created the mound on all the trees that are growing. So if you notice, it's kind of elevated, you know. I did that to make watering more focused, because how I had it before, the water would just run off, you know, and I wanted to like not be wasting water. So I did that. My leaf of life hopefully will come back, but it did not handle the heat very well and it basically died. And when I say that, I mean I was literally like just pulling the leaves from it. It still has a beautiful smell, but yeah, you know, I had given away quite a bit of this to my students, who I gave away plants, I gave away cuttings, and they really appreciated it and they wanted more, but there was no more to be given. So clearly it hasn't died. I know it will come back. That is green right there, and I saw another green section, so that is good. I'm going to be cleaning it up, hopefully. You know, all the dead areas. Oh wow, look, ants. Yeah, ants are everywhere. That's another thing I've realized. The soil that we have here, it is a nice kind of sandy loam, which is just ideal for breeding ants. Ants love it. Like, look on this mountain here. I'm seeing so many queen ants. Well, big ants. I don't know if they're all queens when they're that big. Yeah, so ignore the weeds. I mean, back up here we had my mango tree die, and I had quite a number of deaths. Not because, I don't mean like that. I don't know why this mango tree died. This was my Julie mango tree. I say it's dead. The grafted section is dead. All the leaves fell off. I'm still seeing this here, but it's very, very slow in growing. Like, so I still water it, but I have kind of like been disappointed, because this was something that I actually bought. I bought this and I don't know what I did or didn't do, but there's my Julie mango tree. Still hoping. I'm not going to replace it. I'm going to leave it in the space there. Trying to grow this crossbred mango from seed. All right, now I lost quite a bit of other trees, as I said. My banana plants, we had some strong wind, and this was the only one that had survived, and I wondered if it was going to die because the trunk area looked like it was too wet, and I just didn't know what was going on. And this one had completely broken down, and I cut it, and just this morning I noticed that it has sent up new leaves. So I'm hopeful for that. And mosquitoes are starting to, yeah, you know, when the rain comes the mosquitoes and comes the weeds and everything. And I have just been not having such great experiences with the sandflies. They have really just been biting and causing me to have allergic reactions to them. All right, so I don't know what those are, whether banana or plantain, you know. So, but I'm just happy that they are still alive. Here now is Aki tree number 1 or number 3. This is the first Aki tree that I planted from seed, and you can see that it is doing well. It isn't really affected by the drought. Yeah, so it has been doing really well, and I'm happy for that. And I'm also happy that I now have 3 Aki trees in the ground, because I have like 4 more on my veranda. What am I doing with them? I don't know yet. Maybe I'll give them away, maybe I'll sell them, because I had actually given away quite a bit of aloe vera. All right, now here we have our 5 papaya trees. They are still standing, some not as well. Like, it's just amazing how things have turned. Like this one, okay, so let me start here. This big one here, which is like towering over everybody now, it had actually started bearing first. It had blossoms first, and then all the blossoms fell off, and this second tree started, oh, I'm walking into nothing but spider webs. Guys, the spider webs here in Jamaica, and you can tell me about the spider webs where you are, but these spiders, like, they live everywhere. Every time I'm walking anywhere, I have to be so careful because I'm just walking in booby traps. Anyway, so this, you see here, this actually had a papaya growing right here, and it just got black, and then eventually it just fell off. This is from one of the very original 4, but it has just been so slow. I don't know what happened, but this tree kind of just stopped growing, and then this one just started, just took off like a baby kite, just got really big, and just a whole heap of papayas. I thought this was a male at first, but apparently, oops, apparently papaya trees are both male and female. I don't know how God worked that out, you know, like it seemed like they were male and then them just change and become female. I don't know. So now it has tons of papaya on it, tons and tons of papaya on them. Not too excited about how they look, but hey, I'm grateful and I'm just watching and learning from them, you know. This one here, it just, I don't know if it's just feeling crowded by everybody else, but him not going with nothing. Him just small and staying right there, and I'm not complaining because guess what, I'm sure it's going to bear fruit one day, because I hear that papaya trees, like, after they have finished bearing, they die, you know. So, and that's why I decided to leave those papaya trees over there, because these 5 that have been here with me from the beginning will eventually pass on, and then those 2 would have, you know, started to catch up. And there are tons of papaya seeds in the compost heap, so I'm sure there will be more. All right, so here we have my aloe vera. It has served me well. It started to, I think in the last, well, I didn't show you in a video, but it had that long stalk with the different seeds on it, and I just cut it off because I knew what was going to happen. It had tons of babies around it, and I decided to just pull out every single one, and I gave those away. I gave away most of them. I planted like 3 more, which I'll show you later on. Here's the second pumpkin, which I said I was going to pick soon, but maybe I can just pick it now, like the other one that was already picked. Okay, I can't pick it now with my hands. So after this video, I will get back to it. Now, right there is my ginger, which I recently moved. I don't think the ginger liked being watered too much or being ignored too much. And I have no knowledge about growing ginger. I had just gotten some ginger that was growing from a church sister of mine and planted them and just watered them, and I just haven't had the time to figure out what was going on, but it seems that they were starting to rot. This is not the original container that they were in. I just moved them into that. I did some changes here in the garden since my time started to free up. All right, this is where you can see these 2 grassy areas here. Used to be where the other banana or plantain trees were, but because of how they were turned and they were young and the time was so windy, the wind just, yeah, the wind did its thing. And I think yesterday or the day before, I just took out what was left of. So this is a part of the banana or planting. I just took it out from here so I could plant this soursop. This is soursop number 2, and I'll show you where 1 is. And this soursop used to be at the front of my bedroom window because I thought it was echinacea, right? So I thought one plant was lavender and the other was echinacea, but not no go so. This is a soursop. I did not plan to plant soursop, so I don't even know. But clearly I planted it because it couldn't just get planted by itself, right? I was talking busily and didn't realize that my camera had actually stopped recording. Jumping back over here where my Artenique orange is, which was the second tree that I bought from Hope Gardens Nursery. It has been doing well. Of course, you know, signs of caterpillars are already there. A nibble here, a nibble there. I've only taken off 1 caterpillar from this Artenique tree, but it has been withstanding the weather, the climate, and I think it's because also it has some kind of shade from the papaya tree and so on. So it's been doing well. Third tree that I bought here was my apple tree, which had me a little worried because a lot of the leaves had gotten brown and had fallen off, and I wasn't seeing any sign of new growth. But now there's a lot of new growth, and so everything is fine with my Otaiti apple tree. And if you look here, I have 3 tires which I recently moved from right in that space to this side. I decided to use them kind of as a border somewhat. I'm not sure which herb is gonna go in here or what could go in here that can withstand the sun, because as you can see they are in the sun. This, I just put this back in some dirt, but it has been out of dirt for months but did not die. I cleaned it up quite a bit though, got rid of a lot of it. Just left it there. I don't need any more French thyme, and I decided that the leaf of life needed to be by itself. I had the ginger in there, I had a marigold plant in there, and I just decided, you know what, let them just take over these tires, you know, by themselves. There's my Jew plum, still doing wonderfully. Grew it from seed, absolutely proud of it. Getting really, really nice and big and strong. Over here I have another coconut tree that I got from a neighbor. He says it should be alive still, but time will tell. In here, this is where I actually had the ginger, which I moved to that not my finger, right, that's over there. In it I have another citrus plant of some kind growing because I taken dirt from the compost as usual. Here we have the second soursop that I got. I got this from my cousin's father when we went to the country, along with the first coconut tree, which is doing much better, and one of the citrus plants that I showed you, which looked like it was dying. So I'm gonna have 2 soursop trees, lots of soursop juice. Here you can see this little border here is smaller, it's younger than the one over there, which is much fuller. And here's my original bed, my original plant bed, which had callaloo and tomato, and you know, right now there's only like 1 callaloo, and it is probably the newest one that was planted because I got rid of all the other callaloo plants because they were just too old and the stalks were like really, really thick. Here I have more arugula. This is pepper. I don't think I've gotten any peppers from this tree, right? You could say I probably don't need it. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but just let it grow. You can see how small these leaves are compared to the first set of pepper plants. Well, this is actually from the first set, but the other pepper plants in the next bed. So I've gotten lots of peppers from here. That's another tomato plant I decided to plant. The sweet pepper I did recently, it has blossom. I am yet to really get a successful sweet pepper plant. Yeah, I have 3 pines all recently planted, as you can see in this bed, and we all know that they take really long to grow. So the stones here, they used to be all the way up here, but I decided that I really wanted a walkway, and so this is now outside of the bed. But also I eventually want to move all of this to this spot here. And no, I'm not going to dig up these plants. I'm just going to allow them to run their course and start something different over here. We'll see how that works, because I have a tree right here. Maybe I'll have to put another tree over there to match. That's a good idea. All right, so here my tomato plant has dwindled down quite a bit from the bushiness that it had, but it has steadily been providing tomatoes, but tomatoes that are about this size. So the size is really just got so small during the period of drought. You know, everything just got really small, even the peppers. But here is this pepper, I didn't see it, and it has just gotten really yellow. There's another pepper on the tree, but I am not short of peppers, guys. I've given away peppers, maybe not as much. Maybe I can give away some more, but like, people don't use peppers like that, like hot pepper. You know, people want food to eat kind of thing. But peppers and tomatoes I have not had to buy. God is good. Yeah, this is garlic, and yeah, I'm not gonna try with garlic again. There are certain things I'm just not going to try with anymore. Garlic being one of them. Like, I don't have the proper soil and the nutrients in the soil that is required for some of these things that I'm growing, but it's all experimental, to say the least. All right, so that is that. And I'm going to be going around to the front now. I think I've covered everything here. Let me do a little wide angle view of the garden. So that's where we are with the garden. Let's go around to the front, but make very quick stops. So I had completely changed what was happening here, just kind of created some kind of order. And in this order, there are lots of cobwebs. You know, the spiders just continue to take over, but I love how it looks. It's very simple, beautiful, and it's gonna be fine. That's fine. Here's my drum for collecting rainwater and watering. Here are my 2 aloe plants, doing pretty well. Those are the original aloe plants, and then, as I said, I planted 3 more next to them, so all of here will just be aloe, you know. Yeah. You guys did not get to meet my rose plant that I had here in the pot, but it died because I overwatered it. So that was very devastating. And here is the beautiful double delight, which was a bit small, but I loved how it smelled. All right, but let's move on. So you did not get to meet the rose plant, which I eventually brought inside. It has nothing on it. It's dead. I'm not sure why I'm still keeping this dead plant, but I'm holding on to some kind of hope. But I'm still mourning. And here is the front garden. And you can see that marigold has lots of company right now. Yeah, this is a different marigold, which is more golden than the first marigold. I'm still kind of trying to figure out the marigold, because this area is very stony. So whatever dirt you see, I actually threw dirt there, and because of that, I think the marigold's roots are not able to really be firmly grounded, you know. So I had to stake it recently. I put a piece of steel just to help it because it was falling over, because the roots are just there, not able to go down to hold on to anything because it kind of just don't belong in stony soil. I got this recently, my snake plant, which I absolutely love, and I am having a new vision now of just snake plant all the way across here because it's good for cleaning the air, and it's right by my bedroom window. Here is some more marigold that, you know, because I kept throwing the seeds down, they have started to come up. I think I need to stop watering them so much because they don't like a lot of water, which is good for where they are because nothing here likes a lot of water. This doesn't need a lot of water, and the crown of thorns definitely does not need a lot of water. So I like the beauty of this against the color of this, and I'm thinking that if I had just crown of thorns growing, you know, marigold can go as well, but the marigold really needs to be supported a lot. No, I've skipped over this one. This was supposed to be the other lavender. But as you can see, there's nothing lavender about it with these big old macadam up on it. So this is another citrus plant. I don't know what type it is, but from the very beginning, I was just so excited about my lavender, and it is not lavender. So I'm going to have to find somewhere around the back to transplant this. So maybe I'll do it in the evening when the sun is not so hot. Yeah. So let me do a quick turn around here. Oh, before I do that, here are the other 4 ackee plants that I told you that I got from my compost heap, right? This is 1 seed, and do you see how many plants it has sent up? Another 1 seed, and this has sent up 2 plants. So I don't know what I'm going to do with all of this. I should sell them. I will definitely sell them. Yep. I'm going to let them get a little bigger and then sell them. So this is my yard, the front of my yard, which I have just kept burnt using chemical. Yeah, I do not have the money right now or the time to give attention to any landscaped yard, so it's best for me to just keep it low. Yeah, and that is it for me today. Did you make it to the end of this very, very long video? Whew. Yeah, there was a lot to catch up on, and I still have a lot more to talk about, not just in the garden, but you know, in life, what's been going on. But I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now from Stacy Personally Gardening. Like, share, and subscribe. Put a comment below this. Check out the description.